just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man.
They were having a busy summer in Greendale. Alf Thompson was getting the hay in, hauling a big wagon load behind his tractor. He drove slowly through the village. He could just about manage to squeeze between the houses with his load. But then, he wasn't counting on something of a traffic jam in the middle of the village. Pat had left his van outside the post office, and someone had left a lorry on the other side of the road.
Whoops. It's a job getting through. Steady does it. How's it doing on the other side? Oh dear, oh dear. Whoops. I'll have to back up. Right, here we go again. It looks as though Alf is stuck. I wonder who the lorry belongs to. Phew. A right mess I've got myself into.
Here comes Miss Hubbard on her bicycle. She'll soon sort things out.
Stop! You'll have to stop, Miss Hubbard.
Oh, what's this, Alf? How am I to get through if you block the road with your tractor?
I'm stuck, Miss Hubbard. Between Pat's van and this lorry.
Well, we can't wait here all day. Where is Pat? Pat?
Hearing all the noise, Mrs. Goggins popped her head out of the post office door.
What's to do? Said Mrs. Goggins. Don't take on now. Pat'll be back in a minute when he's done the village letters. It's this lorry, said Miss Hubbard. Who's left it here? There's no sign of a driver.
Just then, Peter Fogg arrived on his motorbike.
What's going on? Said Peter Fogg. Has there been a crash?
There will be, if this lorry isn't moved, said Miss Hubbard.
It looks like a builder's lorry. What's it doing in the village? Does that mean we'll have to wait around? Said Alf.
I certainly hope not.
Pat should be back soon.
We need P.C. Selby.
Here is P.C. Selby. Now then, what's all this? What's going on? Said P.C. Selby. You can't block the road like this, you know.
Alf Thompson's stuck.
It's not my fault, it's this lorry. And Pat's van. They all talked at once. What a mix-up. Wait a minute. Now then,
Said P.C. Selby.
who does this lorry belong to? Pat was hurrying round the village with his letters.
Pat!
Who's that calling? Oh, it's Sarah, Pat's wife.
It must be your forgetting day, Pat. You went off without your sandwiches. Here we are. Special delivery.
She handed Pat a package wrapped in brown paper.
Just like a parcel, said Pat. I'd better not pop them in somebody's letterbox by mistake.
You'll be hungry if you do. Bye.
Bye, and thanks.
In the high street, they still hadn't sorted the traffic jam out. But P.C. Selby was doing his best.
Left a bit. Go on. Now, over to your right. Stop. Left again. Now, a little to your right. Hard over now. Left, he says, then right. Wish he'd make up his mind. Keep to your right. Back up a little. No, back again. Come straight on.
You'll never get through there, you know. Alf, stop! Over to the left. Mind the van.
Come on, Alf.
Oh, dear.
Stop. You'll have to go back again. Now, hard over to your left.
It seemed everyone wanted to help. Major Forbes and Ted Glenn arrived.
Hoo-hoo, what have we here?
Said the Major.
You can't leave the place 5 minutes and look at it,
Said Ted.
You've got me all of a muzzle,
Said Alf.
I'm not moving this tractor till somebody shifts that lorry. Hang on, said Ted. I'll give you a hand.
And he got into the lorry,
Ted's lorry?
said Miss Hubbard.
So sorry, everyone, said Major Forbes. Ted's just giving me a hand at the hall. Borrowed the lorry. First traffic jam in Greendale, what? Soon be off.
The Major got into the lorry beside Ted. Pat came up the street.
Morning, everybody. Just a word, Pat, said Major Forbes. Expecting an urgent parcel, coming from London. Tin soldiers for my collection. Now take good care of it, there's a good chap, what? Don't you worry, Major, said Pat. I'll see you get it safe and sound, the way you always do. Good man. Bye for now.
Ted and the Major drove off in the lorry. At last, Alf could get on his way.
You see, P.C. Selby, it's quite easy when you know how.
Miss Hubbard decided she had wasted enough time and moved off, whilst Peter Fogg started up his motorbike again, leaving P.C. Selby and Jess with the road to themselves. Inside the post office, Pat was helping Mrs. Goggins to sort the rest of the letters and parcels. There were 2 parcels with no address. Mrs. Goggins found a label that had come unstuck.
Oh, it's this modern glue, said Mrs. Goggins. They're forever dropping off. Now, which one shall I put it on?
I think it's off that one, said Pat.
But that leaves one without an address.
Don't worry, said Pat. As soon as somebody says, "Where's my parcel?" I'll know it must be theirs. Simple.
Oh, I'd never have thought of that. Goodbye, Pat. Mind how you go.
Pat picked up his bag and went out to the van. Now then, Jess, we'd better take the Major's parcel first. It's something special. Toy soldiers. Lots of tools lying around, and a big ladder going up to the roof. Pat knocked at the door, and it swung open on its own. Anybody in? Hello? Major? Major Forbes? Anyone at home? Pat went in. There was a table in the hallway. I'll leave the parcel here. It'll be quite safe. Just as he was putting the parcel down, Pat heard something upstairs. What's that? Must be me imagining things. Where is everybody? They must be having a tea break. Pat left the Major's parcel and went back to the van. Then he and Jess drove up to the lane away from Garner Hall and parked by the side of a small hill. It was lunchtime. Under that tree. That's just the place for a quiet picnic, Jess. Whew, that was a warm climb, but it was worth it. Out of Pat's bag came a bowl for Jess. Tuck in, Jess, and the parcel with his sandwiches in it. There's nothing like a quiet picnic. Pat had a surprise when he opened the parcel. This is a funny sandwich. Oh, no. It's the Major's toy soldiers. How did they get into my lunch? Oh, what a noodle I am. I've got the wrong parcel. I must have left my sandwiches on the hall table in the Major's house. It was this parcel that the address fell off. Come on, Jess.
Back to the Major's. He'll be thinking his soldiers have run away.
When Pat got back to Garner Hall, he found the Reverend Timms trying to cheer the Major up, and P.C. Selby looking for footprints.
Anything the matter? Asked Pat. What's going on? Robbery, said the Major. That's what's going on, Pat. My collection of soldiers. Gone, all gone, what? Marched off without a sound. But there's a funny thing. The robbers left their sandwiches behind.
Oh, no, said Pat. They were my sandwiches. You see, I muddled the parcels up. My sandwiches and your soldiers. I left my sandwiches on your hall table, and your parcel of soldiers was still in my bag. And here it is.
Pat, you're a genius, said the Major. You've saved my new soldiers from the robbers, what? The best of the bunch, too. Good man.
But I'm still hungry, said Pat.
The Lord will provide, said the Reverend Timms. I'll just pop in for my sandwiches.
He started to go inside, but P.C. Selby stopped him.
Now then, Pat, you can't go in there. Not till we've looked for fingerprints,
said P.C. Selby.
But I want my sandwiches.
Those sandwiches are evidence, said P.C. Selby. Evidence, Pat, that's what they are. Nobody can touch 'em, not till the CID get here from Pencaster. And goodness knows when that'll be.
Oh, well, said Pat. I hope you find the stolen soldiers, and went back to his van.
I wonder if Sarah's got something nice for lunch, said Pat. I'm so hungry, Jess. I think we'll... Home, sweet home.
Oh, you've never lost your sandwiches after all, have you? Said Sarah.
Not lost, said Pat, but they're evidence now.
Oh, well, I never.
And Pat had to tell her the whole story of the robbery at Garner Hall.
But Jess was too busy eating to listen. I'll have to be on my way, said Pat, finishing his lunch. There are lots of letters to be delivered, robbery or no robbery.
Now you'll be passing the school just about the right time to pick young Julian up, said Sarah. Save me a trip.
All right, I'll not forget. Bye for now.
Come on, Jess, we haven't finished yet, said Pat as they walked back to the van. Pat was soon on his way again, but there was something in the road up ahead. Pat stopped. It was Peter Fogg with his motorbike in bits.
Hello, Pat,
said Peter. Having trouble, said Pat.
I certainly am. My front wheel brakes have locked. Nearly threw me over the handlebars.
I'll ask Ted Glenn to pop along with his toolkit, said Pat. Here's something to read while you're waiting.
Oh, good,
said Peter.
It's my motorbike magazine. Great.
Pat started up his van.
Bye, Pat, and thanks.
Pat called at Thompson Ground. Alf was helping Ted load some wood onto the lorry. Pat had some letters for Alf.
Come and have a cuppa,
Said Alf.
Dorothy's sure to have the kettle on.
He was right. As they entered the kitchen, Dorothy was just pouring the tea.
What's all this about a robbery at the Hall?
Said Alf. Pat had to tell the whole story again from the beginning. Oh, said Pat, I nearly forgot with all this talk about the robbery. Peter Fogg's stuck with his motorbike. He's broken down, about 2 miles back. Do you think you could give him a hand, Ted?
No trouble, said Ted. I'll pick him up when we've got that wood loaded.
Thanks for the tea, said Pat. Goodbye.
Cheerio, Pat.
Bye.
Pat's next stop was at Intake Farm. He met P.C. Selby coming out. Any news of the robbery? Asked Pat.
Good news and bad news, said P.C. Selby. They caught the robbers on the road to Pencaster, but there's no sign of the collection of toy soldiers.
That's a mystery, said Pat, getting back into his van. Ah, well. Cheerio,
Cheerio, Pat.
said P.C. Selby.
Keep your eyes open for anything.
I will. There was a newspaper for George Lancaster. Pat parked near George's house and set out to look for him. But where had he got to? Suddenly, up jumped George from behind a wall, where he'd been having 40 winks.
Looking for me, Pat?
Ooh! You made me jump, George. I thought the robbers were after me. Here's your Hen Farmer's Weekly.
Oh, thanks, Pat.
Then George told Pat how he dreamt he was being chased by a giant hen, which flew away just before he woke up. It's time I was flying away, said Pat. I'm supposed to be collecting young Julian from school.
But when he got back to the van, Jess had gone.
Now where has that cat got to? He might be after rabbits down the field, said George. He likes my rabbits, does your Jess? They went to look. Jess! Jess!
Jess! Jess!
He sometimes comes to play by these big stones, said George.
No sign of him, though. Jess! Jess! Pat found Jess with his rear end sticking out of a rabbit hole. Here he is, George.
I think he's got himself stuck.
Pat took hold of his cat as gently as possible and pulled. Whoops! Something small and heavy rolled into the grass. George picked it up and looked at it. What's Jess found? Said Pat.
Looks like one of these old tin soldiers,
Said George.
I used to have a box full when I was a lad. Could do with a bit of a clean.
Did you say a tin soldier? Said Pat.
Yes, why?
The robbery. You must have heard. Hang on. Pat thrust his arm down the rabbit hole as far as it would go and brought out a shopping bag. He looked inside and found it full of toy soldiers. Jess has found the loot, said Pat. The robbers must have hidden them on their way to Pencaster. They must have passed your gate.
Clever cat,
said George. I must get these back to the Major, said Pat. He will be pleased.
Pat carried the bag of soldiers back to his van and put them on the seat beside him.
Bye, Pat. Cheerio, George.
And off they went. Jess was missing his rabbits.
Never mind, Jess. The Major will be so pleased to have his soldiers back. I'm sure he'll give you something nice.
Pat remembered he had to pick Julian up from school.
Am I late?
Huh, not much, Dad.
On the way, he told Julian all about the robbery and how Jess had found the soldiers down a rabbit hole.
Remember, we've to stop by at Garner Hall and give the Major back his soldiers, said Pat. When they arrived at Garner Hall, Ted and the Major were still busy with the roof.
What's that fellow Pat doing here again, eh, what?
Special delivery, said Pat, handing him the bag.
What, in a scruffy plastic bag?
Major Forbes took the bag and opened it.
Bless my eyes, it's my soldiers! My precious soldiers! Thank you, Pat, you're a stout fellow.
And Pat told the whole story yet again.
But it was Jess that found them, said Julian. Wasn't it?
It's a good place to hide something, said Ted. Down a rabbit hole. Now who'd think of looking there?
We'd better be off home, said Pat. Sarah will think we've got lost.
Ted handed Pat a newspaper.
Take this with you, said Ted, and make sure you look at page 2.
Thanks, Ted. I will.
I don't know why Ted wants me to read the paper, said Pat, getting back into the van. Cheerio, everybody.
Bye, Pat, and thanks again,
said the Major. Pat and Julian drove off. Julian couldn't wait to see what was in the newspaper.
Oh, it's about a reward for anyone who finds the Major's soldiers. £500.
Well, I never. That'd buy a lot of fish for Jess. It's time to go home and tell Sarah all our news.
Let me tell her first.
And they drove home, over the hills and along the lanes.
Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. Early in the morning, just as day is dawning, he picks up all the post bags in his van. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. All the birds are singing, and the day is just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Oh, 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 be-dum, oh, 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 be-dum, oh. Oh, ba-dum. Day's just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man.
It's breakfast time in Greendale. If you knock on the door of Pat's house and go in, you'll see his wife Sarah bustling about.
Julian, it's time you were off.
Their son Julian is getting ready for school.
Right, off you go. Bye, Mum. Bye.
Jess, have you seen my hat? Where did I put it? Ah, there it is, on the chair.
It's not our usual day today, Jess. Bye, Sarah.
Bye, Pat. Good luck.
Pat's not in his van today. He's got his old bicycle out, and Jess is riding in the basket.
Hold on tight, Jess. Off we go.
At the other end of the village, Sam Waldron is out early too. His mobile shop is parked by the roadside.
Morning, Sam.
Morning, Pat. Where's your van, Pat?
Can't stop, says Pat, cycling quickly past. Taking the bus.
A bus? What's he on about?
Pat cycles all the way to the post office. He leans his bike outside and goes in.
Morning, Mrs. Goggins. We're ready to go. Hope you've got the keys safely.
Oh, yes, Pat. And a fine morning to you, too. Here they are.
Ooh, thanks very much. This is exciting. Pat goes out of the post office and round the corner. Is he looking for his van?
I left it down the next street, out of the way. Somewhere round this corner. Ah, there she is.
But it's not his usual van. It's new. It's a Royal Mail post bus with seats and windows for passengers. Mrs. Goggins is quite excited.
You are going to be busy, Pat, now that you're to pick up passengers as well as deliver and collect the mail.
I know. Granny Dryden wants a ride into Ingledale to do her shopping.
Oh, that reminds me. You'd best see if the Reverend wants a lift. His old car broke down on Wednesday.
I'll not forget. Cheerio.
Bye, Pat.
The post bus stopped outside the church. The Reverend Timms was standing by the church door. He didn't seem to be ready.
Oh, Pat, I wanted to go into Ingledale on your lovely new post bus today, but oh dear. I found these knots in my handkerchief, and I know they're to remind me about something, but bless me, I cannot think what it is.
Well, Reverend, I won't be able to keep my passengers waiting. I'll have to be on my way.
Don't wait for me, Pat. I'll get the old bicycle out, if I remember in time.
Well, here's your mail anyway. Goodbye, Reverend.
Bye, Pat.
Off went Pat to the next stop. Granny Dryden was ready, waiting for Pat outside her front gate, with her stick and shopping bag.
Well, Pat, this is something new. What a lovely way to go shopping.
Mind the step.
Oh!
Whoops-a-daisy.
Granny Dryden was soon sitting down on the bus.
Pat was feeling quite excited now that he had his first passenger. Off we go, Jess.
Oh, Pat, stop, I've forgotten me hat. I won't be long. I knew I'd forget something.
Pat and Jess had to wait patiently while Granny Dryden went back indoors to fetch her hat.
I wonder if we'll ever get to Ingledale, Jess. Ah, here she comes. It was a lovely hat. A pity to leave it behind. All aboard.
Just up the road, Miss Hubbard was waiting with a lot of bags and baskets.
I think we have another passenger, Jess. Miss Hubbard must have a lot of shopping to do.
Pat stopped the bus quickly.
Thank you, Pat. If you could pass me a bag or two.
Certainly, Miss Hubbard.
Pat helped with the shopping baskets and carrier bags. It was a struggle to fit everything in.
Thank you, Pat. Good morning, Granny Dryden.
At last, Miss Hubbard sat down and they were able to move off. When they got to Ted Glenn's workshop, Ted was outside waiting for the bus.
What's he up to? He usually goes into town in his Land Rover.
I'll ride into Ingledale with you, Pat. I need a new gearbox for the Land Rover.
The bus was already quite full as Ted clambered in.
Oh, Ted, do look where you're putting your big feet.
Sorry, Miss Hubbard. I didn't see your old basket there.
It isn't an old basket, Ted, though it looks it after being stuck on your foot.
It used to be a lot quieter carrying letters and parcels, didn't it, Jess? Said Pat. They went on their way at last. Ahead, Sam Waldron's mobile shop was parked in the narrow lane. It was a tight squeeze getting past, but Sam helped.
Come on, Pat. Left hand down a bit. Take it slowly, or you'll scratch in your post bus.
As soon as he was through the gap, Pat stopped the bus.
Pat, how about a little light refreshment? I'm sure Sam has something we can buy.
Said Miss Hubbard.
Yes, a biscuit would be nice.
Said Granny Dryden. It seemed a good idea. So while all his passengers climbed out and went to buy things from the mobile shop, Pat decided to check a nearby postbox. He found 2 letters. When he got back, everyone was still buying things at Sam's shop.
You'll all be spent up before you get to Ingledale, said Pat. And we really should be on our way. I have the letters to deliver as well as you know.
I haven't finished me biscuits,
Said Granny Dryden.
Take 'em with you.
Said Ted Glen, helping her back onto the bus.
Mind the step, Granny Dryden. After you, Miss Hubbard.
Bye, Pat. And thanks,
Said Sam. Pat was glad to be on his way again. But just round the corner, Pat had to stop again. P.C. Selby was standing in the middle of the road.
Stop!
Stop, said P.C. Selby.
Sorry, Pat. You can't go this way. The old bridge isn't safe. It's all this rain. These floods are dreadful.
Oh dear, and we're running late as well.
I know a shortcut,
Said Ted.
Just go straight on this way, then left, past the signpost, down there. Aye. Don't worry, you'll be all right.
Don't worry, he says, said Pat. It was a very bumpy track. Everyone was shaken about all over the place,
Feels like a ploughed field.
said Miss Hubbard. They turned off the track into a meadow.
Watch the gate.
Just enough room. I hope Ted knows what he's doing.
Pat stopped the bus. Now where?
I knew it. We're lost. You don't know which way from t'other, young Ted.
Said Miss Hubbard.
That's not fair. I've been this way dozens of times. It looks a bit different today, that's all.
There was only one way to go. Back the way they'd come. They found the gate into the lane. I know where we are, said Pat. This is the road to Thompson Ground. When they got to Thompson Ground, there were letters to deliver. And Alf was waiting to see the new post bus. When the bus stopped in Alf's farmyard, Granny Dryden was asleep.
Where are we? Are we there? Where's the market?
Suddenly there was a strange noise from the lane. The Reverend Timms was racing down the hill on his bicycle towards Alf Thompson's gate. Through the gate he sped, past the post bus, past Alf's tractor, and straight into the barn.
Was that the Reverend?
Said Ted.
Let's go and see,
Said Alf. They all ran into the barn.
You all right, Reverend? What a ride! Thank the Lord, Alf, that you have hay in your barn. Oh, but I remember now. That's what the knots were for. 1, to remember my sister's birthday. 2, to remember to post her present.
And 3, said Pat.
To get new brakes for my bicycle. Why don't you go to town in the post bus?
Said Alf.
And I'll mend your bike for you. I'll bring it round to the vicarage tomorrow. Oh, thank you, Alf, said the Reverend Timms. Now I think I'll sit in front with Jess.
Time we were on our way, said Pat. Next stop, Ingledale. At last they arrived at Ingledale. The post bus stopped next to the town statue. Everyone climbed out, ready to do their shopping. Everybody back here, please, at 2 o'clock, said Pat. When 2 o'clock came, everyone was back at the post bus, except Granny Dryden.
We can't go without her, said Pat.
I'll go and look for her, said Miss Hubbard. She'll be in the market, getting potatoes.
I wonder where she's got to, said Ted. She'll be having a good gossip somewhere, said Pat. But as soon as Miss Hubbard had disappeared, who should turn up but Granny Dryden?
Oh, there you are. Have you seen Miss Hubbard? She's looking for you.
Looking for me?
Said Granny Dryden.
I wasn't lost.
I'll tell you what, said Ted. You sit in the bus, and I'll go and look for Miss Hubbard.
But no sooner had Ted gone than Miss Hubbard came back.
Oh, I can't find Granny Dryden anywhere. I think we'll have to report her missing. Oh, there she is in the bus. How did she get there?
Well, you see...
And where's Ted gone?
Looking for you, said Pat.
But I'm not lost.
I know you're not lost, but... Oh, never mind. We'll just have to wait. And I don't know when we're going to get back to Greendale. I think I'll sit in the bus and read my paper. But Ted soon came back, and they set off home again.
There were letters and a parcel to take to George Lancaster at Intake Farm. George was collecting eggs when the bus pulled up.
Hey, there's Pat.
Hello, George.
Hello, Pat. I like your new post bus. It's a great idea. Do you think I could take a dozen hens to the market in it tomorrow?
Indeed not, said Miss Hubbard. Just think of the feathers. We'd all be sneezing for a week. Oh, but what lovely eggs. May I buy half a dozen, please? I forgot to get some at the market.
There you are, 6 lovely fresh eggs, Miss Hubbard.
Thank you, George.
Mind you don't break 'em.
It was soon time to be on their way.
Bye, Pat.
On the way past Thompson Ground, they saw Dorothy waving from her gate. What could be the matter?
Oh, Pat, she said. Mrs. Goggins has been on the phone. She's ever so worried. She's wondering where you've all got to. Thinks you've had an accident with the new post bus. Why not come in and give her a ring?
Pat went in to phone Mrs. Goggins.
You must all come in for a cup of tea and a cake, said Dorothy. You're welcome. You must be parched after your trip.
Most kind,
said the Reverend Timms. Pat was on the phone. Hello, Mrs. Goggins. Yes. No, we haven't been to Blackpool. Just Ingledale. All safe and sound. We'll be back soon. Bye,
What a time we've had,
said Miss Hubbard.
It's a wonder Pat managed to get us all home again.
Now, don't you worry about your old bike, Reverend,
said Alf.
I've given it a good oiling, and it's good as new. It just needs some new brake pads. I'll pop round with it tomorrow.
More tea, Granny Dryden?
Said Dorothy.
Well, just one more cup, thank you.
There was a saucer of milk for Jess. But Pat was anxious to get on. Come on, everybody. Time to be off, said Pat. And they all went out to the bus. Out in the yard, Alf helped Pat turn the bus round.
Back you come. Come on. Careful, stop. Right, off you go.
It had been a long day.